recipe for chicken dumplings, which is kind of it's a very Jewish thing. I'm not Jewish, but it's a very Jewish thing, and I was kind of watching something. I was kind of quite intrigued about these chicken dumplings that are cooked in a tomato sauce. I just kind of thought, oh, that's kind of quite interesting and kind of quite nice, and certainly the things that were done in it. So we're going to make the chicken dumplings out of some chicken thighs, because that was what was in the supermarket, and that was what was kind of cheap. And I prefer thighs to breast. I think breast is a bit pappy, unless you get an older chicken, then those are okay. But young chickens, there's not much flavour there. And then I'm also going to change it slightly, because I'm going to cook some chickpeas in it. So it's going to be a little bit like Shakshuka as well, kind of thing. And the dumplings are going to replace the eggs in the Shakshuka, if that can make sense. And so we're going to cook some chickpeas with it, because I think it needs a little bit more. I just don't want chicken dumplings in tomato sauce. And also, what I found really particularly interesting about what I saw was that the chicken skin was cooked into the tomato sauce. I thought that was kind of quite interesting. I wanted to see how that turned out. So the chicken fat was used to make the tomato sauce, and then the chicken skin was actually in the sauce as well. And because we're using thighs and we're cooking chickpeas, I've boned out the chickpeas. I've boned out the chicken legs. So we're going to cook the chickpeas we're going to put the bones from the chicken in with the chickpeas. So it's because they're going to be cooking for a couple of hours. Shouldn't be doing this on top of the cooker, but since we're going to cook in the chickpeas for a couple of hours, we might as well put the bones in with the chickpeas, and we'll get some flavour out of the bones going into the chickpeas, and we're not wasting the bones. If you don't like waste, that's fine as that. No salt in with the chickpeas, just plain water and the bones. And I'm not normally, when you're making stocks and things, you don't put a lid on stock because it wants to turn it cloudy. But I won't be particularly bothered about that today. I'll be quite happy to put a lid on top of the chickpeas. So that's that. We're going to render some of this fat out of the chicken skin. It's a bit, to cut raw chicken skin up, it's a little bit problematic. You need a really sharp knife, and it always feels a little bit dangerous. So I'm going to cook it. I'm going to cook the chicken skin slightly, and I'm going to chop it up, and then we're going to add some vegetables to that and some tinned tomatoes. So that'll be the next bit. So we'll just let that render down gently and cook away, and then we'll be back when we can do something with that. So chicken skin has crisped up, and it'll be easy to cut up now. So we'll just use the scissors. I think that'll be for the best bet. Fat's kind of come out of it. The fat and the skin are going to make the sauce very rich. It's kind of has that effect of making your lips a bit sticky with the gelatin and wanting them to stick together, which I think will be really nice. I think it will, for the sake of something that's normally thrown away and not really particularly used, the chicken skin, I think it will be it'd be really interesting. So we're just going to do that. We're going to leave the skin in as well, so we'll get all the flavour and all the flues and all the fat from that. Okay, we don't want them too big, because we're never going to strain it. I'm never going to strain it out. I'm not going to remove them. They're going to stay in the sauce. So I want them quite small. Like that. That's cooked enough. We could cook that for a bit longer. Things get a bit ridiculous, don't they? That's fine. So chickpeas coming up to the boil. So we'll turn those down. like that. And then we've got, so we're going to use 2 tins of tomatoes. It's just the cheap ones from the supermarket. They're always on offer at the moment. So the better tomatoes you use, the better the result's going to be. But these are work out about 24 pence each. So I'm like, why would I not use them? We've got 2 chopped onions, 2 medium chopped onions, 1 celery stick, and 2 medium carrots as well. Well, medium small carrots. And that's going to form the basis of the tomato sauce, which we're going to cook. So we'll just give those a bit of sweat down. Start the cooking process. Get those, sweeten them up a little bit. Not give them any colour, just start the cooking process. And then we'll add the tomatoes and we'll cook that really, really slowly. But it's pretty straightforward, that, isn't it? Yeah. So, chicken dumpling time. I have, this is the chicken meat, which I have minced on the fine mincer grating? Possibly. And there's about 50 grams worth of bread as well, which I've soaked in a little bit of water, just to soften it up. And there's some parsley in the garden as well, and then an egg. I'm not entirely sure how much chicken there will be. There will be about, what am I going to guess? I'm going to guess maybe 400 grams. 400 grams of chicken, something like that. So I'm not going to bother whisking the egg up, and I'm going to use the container that the chicken came in to kind of cut back on the washing up, and then it's just a case of doing everything together like that. So it all just gets mixed in. I'm only using parsley because I've got it in the garden, therefore it's free. I don't think you necessarily need to do it, but it's in the garden. I'm coming to the back end of summer. It's not going to last much longer as the parsley in the garden. So you might as well use it up and then squish it all together. I suppose you just put it through the mincer like this and it would have minced it all together. And then we're going to do a very chefy thing. I'm going to put it between 2 spoons and make quenelles, which will be very pretty. That's alright. We'll probably need to see, you know, and we'll season with a bit of salt. Very runny salt because I've got dirty hands now. No pepper because I've made a mess of my hands. I might be able to mix it with the spoon. Tell you what I'll do. I'll get the chicken gunk off my hands and we'll be able to do a bit of a mix with the spoons. We'll put a bit of pepper in. I'll wash my hands. Get rid of all the raw chicken off my hands. We'll give my hands a wash and then we'll do some quenelles. Got a clean finger. No. Well, just have to be as clean as it can be. Right. So, pepper, using clean hands, that's about enough. And then we'll do mixy with the spoons. And I got, this is the water I soaked the bread in, so it's not dirty water, it's just had the bread in it. Can I have a bit of parsley off there as well. The parsley stuck to the knife. That'll do, and then it's been a while since I've done quenelles. And we'll put them back in that container, saving even more washing up. So about a tablespoon, and we'll just make some nice roundy shapes. That'll do. Don't need to be more perfect than that, just a little bit of water to make them want to come off the spoons. And then it's just a case of the chickpeas are cooked and the sauce is cooked. It'll just be a case of putting everything together when I'm ready to cook. I was thinking could cook it in the oven, but I think what we'll do is we'll cook it on top of the stove with a lid on, and then the chicken dumplings will, half of them will cook in the sauce and the other half will steam on the top. And we'll just get that off there, and then we've got some more room in here. It's going to make a mess of the container, but if I'm honest, I get sick of all the washing up. And I've already got, I don't want another chickeny container to have to wash. I've already got one here, so no point making a bowl with more chickeny mess. So we've got one. No, we'll actually get three. Let's get three more. Make them a bit smaller. Helps if you've got 2 spoons the same size. But that'll do. And then as the cupcake's going to hold it all together. That's fine. That one there. And then the last one. But you could just roll them into balls, but why didn't I just roll them into balls? I don't know. Don't know. Don't always make things easy on myself. Really should do. There we go. That's better. Just tease that off there. And we've got 7. No, it's not equal. Oh, it's not equal portions, is it? But not to worry. And then we might be able to. I'll leave the spoons in there. There might be enough bits of chicken in there to make a small one as well. So we'll leave those in there. They can go back in the fridge. And then I can go out and just put everything together when I come home, which is pretty straightforward. Oh, we'll show the sauce. So the sauce is like that, all nice and cooked down. Although it's a bit lumpy, and I don't want it lumpy. Oh, I'll pause. I need to get. So sauce is the vegetables that are cooked. They just haven't cooked down. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a mash rather than a puree up, because we've got the chicken skin in there. That's not going to want to puree up with a blender. So we'll just run the potato masher through it, and that will just break up the vegetables without making a mess of the blender and getting the chicken skin all pulped up in it. So there'll be these little tasty morsels of chicken skin in there. So what I'll do is, when I come home, put a bit of heat underneath this sauce and heat up the chickpeas as well, and then drop the chicken dumplings into the sauce. And we might need to use a little bit of the chickpea cooking liquid just to loosen that down a little bit. But that's fine. So that's ready to go when I come home. You could just put it in the oven and bake it. I'm going to. I think it'd be best to cook it on top of the stove in a pan with a lid on. So that's that. And then the chickpeas here. So there we go. Yeah. So we'll just go through it and we'll pull out all the bones. And strip them out. I'll see if there's any bits of meat that we can strip off the bones, and then that can go back into the sauce as well. So chickpeas are cooked. Looks nice and gelatinous as that. Still just a little bit warm. Excuse fingers, but it's only for me. So there's a nice bit of chicken there. So that can come off, and that can go in the sauce as an added little bonus. But we'll just pick through those, get rid of the bones. There might be 1 or 2 bones still, and that's a bit of chicken. That's a bit of chicken, that's a bit of bone. That's alright, we'll use all those chickpeas. Yeah, that'd be a good ratio. That amount of cheese, yeah, it'd be a good ratio. I don't think there's any bones. We'll just have to be careful if we chomp down any bones. That'll be fine. We'll get rid of that. I know what I'm doing, I'm making a mess. I'm disappearing off for a second. So, that and there, and then just want to drain the I don't want to lose that chickpea liquid, because that's where it's turned into a stock. So that in there, that's most of the liquid out of it. It's going to there. All those chickpeas. That out of the way. Give that a stir and see what we're looking at. Alright, okay. And we might just put some of that cooking liquid stroke stock back into that as we heat it up. And then that'll be nice for that. We'll give it a taste. It'll certainly need some salt and pepper. But we'll do that. In fact, we'll do it now. Put some pepper in now. That much pepper. That much salt. Now the chickpeas are cooked. Don't be cooking the chickpeas with salt in the water because they'll take forever to cook. So we'll mix that all around. That salt has time to melt into that. That'll be fine. Go through that chicken, pull out nice bits of meat. That's a bit of meat there. Nice bit of meat there, and it's all ready. If I want to come home, I can just put it straight on. It should cook quite quickly. It'll be nice, will this? I have good feelings. Yeah, you don't want to waste all those bits, those little morsels of chicken, all those added little extra bits. No, that was fat. Don't want too much fat in things. You can make things a little bit too rich. That can go in. That's about that. There we go. Right, the next bit will be reheating and cooking. Very nice. Right, chickpeas are heating up nicely. I think it needs a little bit more liquid in than that. So we'll put in the chickpea cooking liquid. How much of it? Not much. Yeah, that's a nice amount. That's a nice amount. Make that flat. And then we'll put these chicken dumplings in. If we just take a little bit off each, we might get another one out of all these. There we go. Probably too many chickpeas for the amount of dumplings that we've made. I'll adjust the recipe in the description. There's like dumplings for 3 people, chickpeas for 5. So I think I should have done all that chicken. Probably should have done all that chicken. I'll do the recipe for all that chicken and then it'd be like 5 good sized portions. Sorry if you want exact recipes. This is not that place. There we go. They're not particularly even, are they? Not to worry. Yeah, 7. If we'd have made that one a bit smaller, we probably would have got 8 dumplings. Yeah, all that chicken would have been a better idea. But we live and learn, don't we? Or do we? Carry on making the same mistakes. But just failing better. It's going to make a small dumpling. Yeah, we could have made 8. We could have made 8 dumplings. If I'd divided it properly, we would have got 8 dumplings. That's right. So sink them in the chickpeas a little bit. It certainly needs lid on, and then lid on, bubbling away like that for 20 minutes, something like that. Everything's cooked. We just need to cook. Well, not the chicken's not cooked, but everything else is cooked. So we just need to cook the chicken, which will probably take 20 minutes, something like that. Just keep an eye on it. It should be nice. It will be nice. Of course, it'll be nice. And we're done. So let's dish a bit up. Move that out of the way. Although I can't really taste it because it's too hot. But the amount of sauce was nice when I tasted it. I think I'll be adding chicken fat to my chickpeas in future. And that's a bit special. See what the dumpling tastes like. I mean, obviously I used chicken thighs, but you could use chicken breast, and just use the what we call it, the skin off the chicken breast. You won't get the bones to cook in with the chickpeas, but it's not going to make a huge amount of difference that I did that. It's just one of those things that you tend to do lots of little things, and those little things make a big difference. But if you miss out one of those little things, like cooking the bones in with the chickpeas, it's not going to make that much difference. That's very nice, is that? That's a winner. That's a winner. You don't have to use chickpeas. I'd say you could use anything you wanted. Certainly pasta or rice would be good. There you go. There you go. Very nice indeed. So, this is my second bowl. I'm having seconds and it's delicious. I think the cooking the chicken skin into the pasta sauce and the fat from the chicken from the chicken skin into the tomato sauce is delicious, and I think cooking the bones in with the chickpeas is delicious as well. And I think the parsley, although I kind of did say you don't need to put it in, I think it's really beneficial for it. I think it's really nice. It's a winner. It'd work well with pasta, but I think beans are better. I think chickpeas and beans are the way to kind of go, because it's along the line of a Shakshuka. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it, although my pronunciation of other things, of everything, is probably always a little bit wrong. I think with the meat thing, if you're wanting to make it cheaper, I think you could make half the amount. So that's 4 good size portions. If you were concerned about the meat element and you wanted to cut down the price, I would do half the amount of. So the recipe, which I'll do, I'll kind of work it out. But I would cut the meat in half, the amount of meat, make half the amount of dumplings, and I would put in 4 eggs. So it'd be like Shakshuka with 4 chicken dumplings, which I think would be really nice. But there you go. I think that's a winner, and that's going to be something that I eat on a regular basis.